Hey guys, it's Lady D here, and this is another episode of From the Porch to Portugal. Yeah, I wanted to take another route with these and try to do them, rhetorically and methodically. So if there's anybody that wants to follow my path and that the way I do this works for you, so be it. Okay, last time I was talking to you guys about the hardest part of this for me was the decision to do it. And it was. Most people don't think about it, but while we hate, and I mean hate, everything that's going on in this country, we strongly dislike. Let me stop that because they'll flag this. Not in hate as in, against a person or whatever. Most of us are totally freaked out about the climate now. The hatred, the vitriol, the violence, all of it, everything. And then there is the unequalness, the the Karen pandemic, people's attitudes toward the global pandemic, the COVID. These things are changing people's minds left and right, day and night. And when I say my mind was changed before that, yeah, I'd made this decision a long, long time ago. A long time ago. It's just, I guess some of you can come in with this if you want. Life happens. That's as simple as I can put it. For me, life happens. And in the course of that, families change, things change, atmospheres change. COVID happened, jobs changed, money changed, finances changed, health changed, everything. It just changes you. And it altered my timeline. So my hope was to be, on a plane and on my way for my birthday, February 2022. God, that's almost like the Jetsons. And I am dating myself. I understand. I am dating myself, telling people I remember the Jetsons. Girl, I can get deep for you, honey. I remember watching Flintstones when it was new. But anyhow, okay, the first Hercules when it was Kevin Sorbo. Anyhow, um, like I said, I made this decision a long time ago. I want to say like my second failed attempt at college. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I was in the throes of life. Everything happened. And I just call it what it is. My second failed attempt. And I decided to join a program that would allow us to study abroad. And I always thought if I did that, it would widen my perspective about living abroad. Maybe get a job and become one of those people that are multilingual and, works in another country for the country. And God, that was, I want to say late 80s, early 90s when I made this decision. But of course, fresh out of college, ugh, it wasn't as hellacious as it is now. It wasn't as it's in your face. And I wasn't in my 50s. Okay? But I didn't realize then what I do now. And that is, I can do this. You see, there are some things that only come with age. And that's the thought and the belief in yourself, the confidence in yourself. When you need to make one of these choices, you wonder if you can. When you're young, you can conquer the world because we think once we're 21, the world belongs to us. It bows down to us and voila. Well, the millennials are finding out that's not exactly true, is it? How's that working out for you, Cookie? Yeah, We have them working harder than they ever have. We thought it was us having to hold down two jobs. I see millennials now that are really struggling, really struggling. And we aunties and uncles that are out there, we need to be helping them. We need to be encouraging them. We need to be helping them get up and do it. Um, but back on track, okay? So the decision was the hardest part because in that decision, you got to think about everything you're leaving in this country. Well, the bad is just bad, okay? There are safety nets, comfort zones, comfort food. There are familiar things in this country. You know, even though I live in this state, the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, I know I can go to Florida for sun on the beach. I know I can go to Texas and hang out with my family, and I can go in the mountains and go hiking. We know things that are here. We can vacation in Vegas, girl. Yes. We know the things. These are our comfort zones. We are comfortable in America. But once you leave these soils, you have to be comfortable with being a minority, a true minority, an immigrant. And things might always be that open to you. English isn't the global language, and McDonald's isn't everywhere. Okay, let's get that straight. There isn't a Walmart everywhere. Now, when I get on the soil, if I find these things, you'll see them. I'll be on the porch. But, there are systems here that even though things are bad now, and I want to say they are, things are bad now. My little neighborhood, as quiet as it's kept, is still peaceful. It's still, what it is. So when I say the decision was made, that was very true. And even in spite of the fact that I'll be an immigrant, knowing nothing, no one, and even probably most of the language, I'm learning some now. I'm okay with that. You got some people that'll crack up and be on a plane at night coming back. But for me, I've spent so much time with myself. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable with who I am, and I'm working through some of the past traumas in life, and, just working things out for myself. So what's next? Well, now the decision is made. Okay, now that the decision is made, now you decide on where are you going. Yeah. I sat down with a map. I literally went to like a dollar store or something, I don't know, and bought a world map, not a globe, a little globe, but a map, and laid it all out. And I told myself I wanted to be in a place that was centroplex to a lot of other places, like where we are in Kentucky. Where we are is centroplex to a lot of things. A lot of things. Centroplex to Nashville, Tennessee, centroplex to, Opry Mills, Opry Land, is centroplex to different things over in Owensboro, because we go out to the river a lot. We're 45 minutes outside of Louisville, that kind of thing. That kind of thing. We want to be able to come home, but at the same time, have places to go. So, and what makes these things easy for me is something I would like to share that may help somebody. When I've moved in this country, state to state, across the country, whatever, there is a list that I have for myself. And see, you're going to have to do this based on you, okay? But I'll give you mine for an example. And it's my top 5 things. Of course, there's more than 5 things on that list, but my top 5. I've always said if I cannot navigate these things, that won't be a place I can live in. In other words, if I cannot find these things on this list, okay, that won't be a place I can live, because these things are quintessential. They're necessities for my existence. I must have these things in my life. I must. When my children were smaller, one of them was knowing where the schools and the libraries were, because, then, even though my kids were born in the internet era, we didn't always have it at home. And libraries, had systems where you can go and use them. And there was a good place for them to hang out until I got off work and picked them up. They had after-school programs that they went to, all of that. Another one of the things you have to consider when you're leaving. So schools and libraries was one thing. Now that part of my list has changed now that my children are grown and I'll be doing this solo. For me, I would need to know where the universities are, okay? Because universities are more than just a place where people go to get degrees. Universities can become a big totality of things, resource-wise, okay? Because people study abroad. So you got to know that there are English classes, English majors. There are people there that can help you. And you may be able to sign up for some courses to learn the language in the place you're going. So a university is the thing I had to know about. The next thing had to be, and for me it's critical at this point in my 50s, hospitals. I have to know where hospitals are, especially clinics. Like here we have UTCs everywhere, urgent treatment centers. We have them everywhere. But what about in other countries? A lot of countries have universal health care, but you have to consider it's not free. There are certain things they do that are, but it's not free in its totality. So I would be going with special needs, so to speak, and different things. And I definitely need to know where hospitals